So since we last looked at the Spratley Islands in October 2014, we've seen some new imagery of Fiery Cross Reef, which is down in the Spratley Islands, and what we've seen there is basically a land reclamation which could house an airstrip. It's over 3,000 meters long. It's 300 meters wide, so it's plenty big enough. This is the first time that China has put together an island that could actually house an airstrip in its form. Why is this interesting? Well, it's interesting because, of course, the airstrip is one thing that China's lacked in this part of the world. Malaysia's got one, Vietnam's got one, the Philippines have got one, Taiwan has one. So the only country that hasn't had an airstrip in the disputed Spratley Islands has been China. Now, if it goes and puts an airstrip down on this big piece of land that is created in the last 3 or 4 months, then immediately it has parity, it has power projection capability. It can really basically start kind of following through on the rhetoric that it's put out in the last few years about how it has indisputable sovereignty, and it's interested in enforcing that indisputable sovereignty in this part of the world. I think one of the really interesting things about what's happened is that everyone has noted it, everyone knows it's going on, but each country has a different approach, and inside each country you have two different approaches. For example, our report about this Fiery Cross Reef, some people in the Philippines came back and said, well, shut up about it, be quiet about it, because for them, Chinese investment is a really big part of the Philippine economy. They don't want to upset the boat. Others who are much more kind of focused on nationalism or sovereignty issues said, this is brilliant. We need to know more about what's going on down here because it does threaten our national interests and our national sovereignty. So even within countries that are directly threatened or could be directly threatened by what China's doing, there is a national conversation going on. If you look at somewhere like Vietnam, and Vietnam earlier in the year had a big dispute with China near the Paracel Islands, but since then it's tried to make friends, it's tried to go back and rebuild ties with Beijing, because the last thing it needs is really start a war with China. No one wants to do that because you will lose.